Right, here we go with the level 7 to 8 problem that caused a lot of problem in the last exam. Solve 2x squared plus 3x minus 2 is greater than 0. So what we're going to do is again build up the skills we need to do this question. And the first thing we need to be able to do is factorize the following. So I'm going to give you 30 seconds to have a go at the first one, because actually all factorization questions you should be able to do in 30 seconds. And if you can't, use the quadratic formula is what my tip for that. So see if you can factorize the first one in less than 30 seconds. You got 8. Again, because you haven't taken. Right, I'm doing it now. And yeah, you're going to add to give you nothing. To add. Okay, the trick to this one . Oh yeah, sorry. Accidentally turned the microphone off. Right, and the trick to this one is we need an x and an x. There we go, to get the x squared. And we need something that times together to this minus 4, and we have no x's. So they must add together to give you nothing. And if you use minus 2 and plus 2, when you times them together, you get the minus 4. When you add them together, you get the no x's that you. So that's how you do that one. Okay, we'll have one more. I'm going to miss out the next one. Let's just do the third one, and then we're going to do one of the trickier ones. Okay, so 30 seconds to do this one. Last easy one we're going to do. Interesting question was, does it matter what order you put these in? No, it doesn't. You can put them in any order you like. Order of multiplication does not matter. So we've got x and x to get the x squared. And we want to get the minus 8. But we want to get 2. Because to get the minus 8, we could have minus 1 and 8. We could have plus 1 and minus 8. We could have minus 2 and 4. We could have plus 2 and minus 4. So we've got 4 choices. So use your mental arithmetic and brain to think which will differ by 2. And the 2 and the 4 we can see is going to be it, but except I need the signs the other way around. So I'll need a plus 4 and a minus 2 to get plus 2x. So I get x minus 2, x plus 4 to get this. Minus 2 times 4 is minus 8. Minus 2 plus 4 is plus 2, and we get the x squared. Right, let's just jump another one. I'm going to go to this question here. We've got 2x squared, which makes things a little trickier. Let's see if you can do this in 30 seconds. Off you go. That is a little bit of a tall order to do that in 30 seconds. I'll just show you how to do these, and then I'll give you 1 minute to do the next one. So straight away, you know you're going to have a 2x and an x, because it's the only way you're going to get 2x squared. Now we're going to times together to give us 4. Now we either got 2 and 2, or 1 and 1, and they can either both be plus, or both be minus. Both be plus, or both be minus to get the 4. But we want minus 9. And I can see in my head, if I do 2 times 4, I'll get 8, and 1 times 1, I'll get 1. Add those together, I'll get 9. So I'm thinking a minus 4 over here. So as I combine that with the 2 to get minus 8x, and then I'm going to put a minus 1 here to combine with this x to get minus 1x. So you can see that the 2x times the x gives me the x squared. And you can see that the minus 1 times the minus 4 gives me the plus 4. And therefore, we've got to do the minus 1 times the x and the 2 times the minus 4. That will give me the minus 9x. So if I look here, there's 10. There's a minus x from those two times together. And the other one, minus 2 times minus 4 gives me minus 8x, which adds them together to the minus x. So that is that question factorized. Now I'm just going to leave myself some space. We'll jump to this one. This will be the last factorization we'll do. Then we'll move on to some other problems. Right, that's 1 minute for that one. So again, straight away, you put the 2x and the x in. And then we're going to think what times together are going to be minus 5. So I'm looking at 5 and 1 is the only way I'm going to do that. So and I want to get 9. So I need the 5 to go with the 2. I'm going to put the 5 over here to times by 2, and I'll put the 1 over here. And then I need to get 9. So I want to take 1 off 10. 5 times 2x will give me 10x. And the minus 1x right here will combine together to give me the plus 9x. Right, let's move on to the next stage. Now, we need to know where quadratics cross the x-axis. So I'm just going to show you a little graph I did prepared earlier. Okay, and you'll see this red graph, folder. So you can see this red graph here crosses here and here. So 3, 0 and 1, 0. And if you look, I now then use the factorized form, you can see it crosses at 3, 0 and 1, 0. And the answers over here x minus 3 and x minus 1. Basically, if you put this the first bracket equal to 0 and the second bracket equal to 0 and solve them, you get your crossing point. Okay, where it crosses the x-axis, because what you are doing is putting where y equals 0, because y equals 0 all the way along the x-axis. Let's see that in action. So I will do the first one. So to find out where it crosses the x-axis, we let the y equals 0, but 0 equals x squared minus 4x 3. And we factorize, well, we've done this one already, x minus 3 and x minus 1. And then we put for this to equal 0, either this must equal 0 or this must equal 0, because you've got a yellow number times a green number. And if you've got two numbers times together to give 0, one of those two numbers must be equal to 0. So either the yellow number equals 0 or the green number equals 0. So off the highlighter. So we've got 0 is equal to x minus 3 or 0 is equal to x minus 1. So x will equal 3 or 1. So if we were to draw a little sketch of this graph, okay, it will cross at 1 and it will cross at 3. Okay, so I'm going to let you have a go at this one next, and I'm going to give you 2 minutes to have a go at that, although the factorization shouldn't take you too long because you've done it already. I'm going to stop it there because my students done this already. They're lightning quick. They've done the factorization. So we're solving 0, that's where it crosses the axis, and we factorize x squared minus 4. Let's just write out the question properly. Sorry. So we're solving x squared minus 4 equals 0. So we get x minus 2, x plus 2 as our two factors. So either x minus 2 equals 0 or x plus 2 equals 0. So therefore x equals 2 or minus 2. And let's just draw a sketch of what that will look like. So we've got our quadratic. It's going to be symmetrical because it crosses about minus 2 and 2. And being able to sketch this graph is going to be really, really useful for when we come on to do these inequalities. So make sure you have a go at drawing the sketch afterwards. So we didn't do this question. So let's have a go at doing this question. And it's an easy factorization. So therefore I'll give you a minute to do this question. Right, so let's do this one. So we've got 0, we let 0 equals x squared plus 8x plus 15. So if we factorize that, we get x, and we're going to get x again. Two numbers of times to give us 15, add to give us 8. Well, that's 3 and 5. So therefore, either 0 equals x plus 3 or 0 equals x plus 5. quite good idea to keep writing that out. I know it's obvious that x is going to equal -3 or -5, but it reminds you of this fact, these two numbers times together give you 0, and when you got more difficult problems that occur, you will remember it more easily. So let's draw a sketch of the graph in here. So it's going to cross at -3 here, and it's going to cross at -5. Now we're going to jump up a level of difficulty. We're going to go to the 2x² one. Okay, so I will give you 2 minutes because the factorization on this is trickier, although I think we did this one earlier, but you've probably forgotten already. So here's 2 minutes to have a go at the factorization and find out where this crosses the x-axis. Right, we're out of time there. Sorry, something went wrong with my OneNote there. Let's have a quick go at doing this question. I hope the OneNote's going to behave itself. So we're going to factorize this. We're going to 0 equals 2x² minus 9x plus 4. Therefore, 0 will equal 2x open brackets and x close brackets. And we're going to use the 4, and we're going to do -4, and we're going to do -1. That'll give us -1 and x will give us -1x, and 2x and -4 will give us -8x. So 2x minus 1 will equal 0, or x minus 4 will equal 0. This implies if you add 1 and divide by 2 that x equals 1/2, or x equals 4. So therefore this is going to cross at 1/2 and at 4. Okay, we're going to move on to try and get to the end of this problem, because we've got to do some quadratic inequalities and look at these and then the problem. I'll fill in the answers to the rest later. You can have a go and check them in the next 24 hours or so. So we're going to move on to inequalities. Now we'll look at our simple question, and the way to do these inequalities is to factorize like we've been doing before. So I'm going to write this one out. So this one is x minus 3, x minus 1 is less than 0. And that's the factorized form. And then what I suggest you do is think what the graph of y equals that would look like. Okay, so if we sketch this on a little bit of axes, we know this is going to cross at 1 and 3. And we're solving where is it less than 0. We're doing y equals, and where are the y values less than 0? Well, if you look below here, between 1 and 3, we are less than 0. So therefore, to satisfy this, we must have 1 is less than x is less than 3. Okay, and that is our answer. So effectively, we just factorize, draw a little sketch, work out if we're less than 0, which is here, and if you want to be bigger than 0, then it's going to be these things. Okay, so it's going to be bigger than 3 and less than 1 if we're bigger than 0. So the green ones will give us less than 0. The yellow area gives us, sorry, the green areas give us bigger than 0, and the yellow area gives us less than 0. So let's look at a bigger than 0 problem. So have a go at this one using what I just showed you, and I'll give you, if not, we factorized it several times, so it's only taking you a minute to work it out. No, it's only me watching. Good enough. Is it a she? Was it a friend of yours? Do you know? We've been going for an hour. But look, this basically this is going to YouTube, then going out there, going away YouTube, back again. I'd help it, couldn't it? Okay, right, we've run out of time. Did you do these before? Okay, the trick to these is being able to factorize. So if you're struggling to get these done, it's probably because you're struggling with factorizing, because the rest, once you've done that, that's the hard bit done. Let's move this one across, and we're going to do 2x minus 5x minus 3. We must get a naught on this side. Okay, if you don't get a naught on this side, on one side or the other, then you will not succeed in doing this problem. So let's factorize this. So we're going to get a 2x, and we're going to get an x, and then we've got two numbers at the times to give you minus 3. Now I'm going to put the minus 3 over here, because if I do minus 3 times 2, that gives me 6. And if I do a 1 here, plus 1x will give me minus 5x. So that's how I'm going to factorize it. So my critical values are going to be from this one. If I solve 2x plus 1 equals 0, that gives me x equals minus a half. And if I solve x minus 3 equals 0, that gives me x equals 3. So if I draw a sketch of what the curve would look like that goes along with this, I know that it's going to cross at minus a half, and it's going to cross at 3. And again, I want less than 0. So I want the bit here in the middle, because that's where the curve, look at the curve bit, there is less than 0. Okay. Remember, if you want the greater than 0 bit, that's there and there. Okay, but we're doing the less than 0 bit, so let's just write that in. So if we're less than 0, between, that's minus a half there. So x is going to be between minus a half, properly, minus a half, and x is going to be less than 3. Now that should be enough for you to have a go at the exam question that all our students struggle to do. Solve this problem. 2x squared plus 3x minus 2 is greater than 0. And in an exam, you'd get at least 3 minutes to do this. So off you go with 3 minutes. See if you nail the exam form. Right, here we go. Let's see if you worked out how to do the exam question. So we're going to factorize this. So we get 2x and we get x. We're going to have that greater than 0. So 2x, I'm going to put the 2 over here and the 1 here. Now the way I think about this, I've got 2 and 1 and 2 and 1. I'm going to combine those to get 3. So I see 2 times 2 is 4 and 1 times 1 is 1. Take them away, I get 3. So I get the 2x times the 2 gives me 4x. If I take away the 1x, then I get the 3x I need. So minus x there, 4x there, gives me x. If you're not doing these in time, it's probably because your factorizing needs to be better. Just find the textbook and just do lots more. Anyway, now we're going to solve this. We're going to find out where it crosses the axes, because unless we do that, we can't work out the inequality. Let's work out where it equals. So this will tell us that x equals a half, and this will tell us that x equals -2. If we draw a little sketch of our graph, it's going to cross at -2 and it's going to cross at a half. Now notice we want greater than 0. So we're greater than 0 here and we're greater than 0 here. Where is that? That's to the left of -2 and to the right of a half. So our final answer is x is less than -2, or, because you can't have them both at the same time, x is greater than a half. And that ends our quadratic inequalities live stream. If you didn't quite get that question done in the time, go through and practice a few more and have another go in a couple of days' time.